Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another Sunday Spotlight. Tonight is going to be a special Sunday Spotlight because I want to take you guys on a historical journey to help. One, yes, I'm going to talk about the science and the new study that was published on the healthy weight stack, but I want to talk about philosophies. I want to talk about principles. I want to talk about purpose, and I want to talk about passion and how they all line up and why did she even matter to you? Because then I'm hoping I'm going to take you guys on a little journey to share with you, one, how amazing LifeVantage is and why we have the right purpose, but two, why the world is so in need of the approach and they're certainly ready for it.
Yeah, absolutely. So all of you that are on here right now, you should know that we have a YouTube channel. It is Team Freedom Reigns. This QR code right here will take you directly to it. Make sure that you go and subscribe if you have not. Make sure you ring the bell so you get notified when we upload new content, which is every week because we upload these calls there so that you can go back and you can either rewatch if you don't take notes or so that you can share it with someone else that's on your team that wasn't able to be on here with us. So again, we love having you guys on here with us live on Zoom and on Facebook, yet we always record them and we upload them to the Team Freedom Reigns YouTube channel. So utilize this resource because there is content on there that goes back years. Go and just peruse it all. Okay, so week at a glance this week. We have got all kinds of stuff going on. We always have the Monday Momentum email that comes out on Mondays. Make sure that you're looking for that. Again, if you're not receiving them, reach out to corporate so that the consultant support can help you get your email set up properly so that you're getting those emails because you want to get all the announcements. You want to know what's going on for the week and what LifeVantage has to share with you, okay? And then I also wanted to make sure that you guys knew that tomorrow, Martin Luther King Day, we will have our customer service closed for the day. So there will not be customer service agents available tomorrow, the 20th, but they will be back in the office on the 21st to help us with everything that we need. But if there's anything that you need help with, reach out to your upline support to see if they have resources that just might answer your questions or help you with what's going on that you need to reach out to corporate for. On Tuesday, the Momentum Live Zoom happens at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. It's live at 10 a.m. with an executive consultant. So it's going through how to use the MindBody system to build your business. In that Monday Momentum email is all the details for that call. So again, another reason to make sure that you are getting those emails. If you're not sure, make sure that you go into your email and search for LifeVantage and just verify that you have it. It might be in your junk box, and you want to make sure that you get it, move it into your regular email account. Now, this month, we have been doing 7 days a week opportunity presentations, not Don D and I, but the
It's being
whole
done.
executive group that is putting on the Activate and Thrive in 2025 challenge. Every single night, it is at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. You can make the adjustments for your time zone, and the Zoom ID and the passcode are always the same. Take a screenshot here or go to the Team Freedom Reigns Facebook page. You'll see underneath the featured posts, there is a post that has all of the details there for you. So Tuesday night, Don D and I will be doing the presentation, but every single night you have an amazing executive, and many of them have been having some sort of medical professional as their guests to talk about the mind-body system. So make sure that you're taking advantage of these opportunity presentations. These are for guests. These are for prospects. These are for people you want to invite into the challenge with you. So please, please take advantage of these opportunity presentations every single night, 7 p.m. through the end of the month, 7 p.m. Mountain Time. And that activated weight loss challenge that we've been talking about, we cannot stress how important it is that you are talking to people about this right now, because this is going to be a challenge that is going to be, first of all, helping you build your business right now, increasing your volume by getting more of your customers and more of your team into this challenge or ordering the MindBody system. But on top of it, it is going to have you, those people that get started, they will be maintaining their orders for at least 3 months time. So you'll also be retaining for at least that 90-day time period, that 12 weeks. And on top of that, you're going to be gathering all kinds of stories, before and after photos, being able to see a big picture of what MindBody is doing for so many people and inside their bodies. Weight loss is just a benefit, right? It is something that comes along with all of the other things that are happening when you are balancing your life and your system and getting yourself into a homeostasis place that you can thrive. So are you in the challenge already? We want to know. Put in the comments, say I'm in if you're in the challenge. And if you're not yet, it's like, what's holding you up? Would love to know why you haven't joined the challenge yet, because we would love to have a conversation with you and maybe be able to help you just really make that commitment and decide to say yes to you, say yes to this challenge. Maybe you earn some cash along the way and some prizes because we do weekly drawings. Or maybe it's going to be one of those things that you'll actually make some cash, right? You'll actually be one of those winners, because there's going to be 20 people that are going to be getting cash prizes from the different categories that we have. So all of the details are in the featured pinned post on the Team Freedom Reigns Facebook group again. And you can enter this challenge any day through January 31st. Okay. Any day through the end of January. So make sure that you're inviting everybody to join you in the fun of this challenge. There are 11 days left to join the challenge that has over $30,000 in cash and prizes. Global convention. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So if you have never been to a global convention and this is going to be your first, say first in the comments. Give us a 1. Just do a 1. That'll make it that much easier. Let us know that you are going to global convention. And if this is your first, put a 1. And we are so excited for you, because this is the one to commit to of all of them. I mean, every event is vitally important, but this is the event that you're going to have people coming across the globe for all of us to join together for the biggest event in the 18-month time period, because we have global convention every 18 months. Make sure that you get registered. The price for registration is $199. Or if you are a new consultant within the past 12 months and you have not used your ticket yet, and you picked up a business pack or the new multiplier pack, you have free tickets for registration to this event. So make sure that you go in and get registered. Use those free tickets. If you don't know how to do that, reach out to your enroller so that they can help walk you through it, or even call customer service on Tuesday because they're closed tomorrow. Get yourself registered and then be looking for rooms. Make sure that you guys are bunking up. It makes it much more affordable, makes it a lot of fun. And we want to make sure that we get as many people as possible to this event, okay? So we actually changed from a hotel into an Airbnb so that we could have consultants stay with us. And now we actually have a king room available at the Hyatt Place. So let us know if you're interested in that room. If not, we're going to be canceling that reservation. But we know that there are no reservations left at the Hyatt Place, which means you actually have a kitchenette in the room with you. So if you're interested in that, please message us ASAP, because we will be turning it back to the hotel. So I just want to look here and see what we've got in here. All right, so Linda's not in the challenge. She says it's just not for her, but she sees the value and the fun for others. Dr. Pat, I love that you and your mom are doing the couples challenge. And yes, they can be friends. 2 friends can do the couples challenge together as well. And your mom's 93. I love that you are doing that together. That is absolutely fantastic. So excited for you. Wanted to see if there's any more comments in there. Okay, fantastic. So let's keep going here. And remember that March is the final month for you to rank advance for recognition qualification for convention. So whatever your final rank is at the end of March is what you will be recognized for at convention. So walking the stage and being able to be encouraged and celebrated, which we cannot wait. We love celebrating each and every one of you as you walk that stage. So remember, March is the final month. So what is your goal? Where do you plan on being by the end of March to be celebrated as a consultant walking the stage at Global Convention in Salt Lake City? And how does that make you feel? I mean, seriously, it's like, does that just excite you? It makes my cheeks hurt, because I love taking pictures. I love taking videos, and I just love giving you guys all the hugs and just congratulations. All right, so this is the topic of the call tonight. It's the healthy weight stack. So the 2 products together, Protandim NRF2 plus the MindBody system, when you put them together, there's a synergistic activation benefits that come from that. And so we had talked last week, and you guys had all concurred that you would absolutely love to hear from Dr. Don D, his input and his breakdown of the healthy weight stack science, the study that was just released at our last event just last week. We all know and love him, and he is probably the best at bringing things down into bite-sized chunks for us. So give us your favorite emoji, maybe even a drum roll for Dr. Don D. Nettles. Woohoo! Yeah!
Awesome. Well, I'm really excited, and I'm going to start off probably the first 3 to 5 minutes, and maybe a direction that you guys weren't anticipating. And I truly, in all honesty, I wasn't truly anticipating this either, but I wanted to put it in proper context, and I wanted to make it make sense in the bigger picture or the bigger scheme of things. And I want to go back now to so World War II, the way the world was in World War II. So here in the United States, I was reading these statistics about patriotism, about getting behind a cause, belief in country versus belief in self, and how these political divisions and just overall divisions have been happening. And there was an interesting statistic in the World War II time era. So when there was a very high suicide rate among people who get drafted did not get drafted. There was a very high suicide rate among those people because they wanted so badly, they want passionately to serve and to literally commit their potential life for a purpose, the purpose of peace, the purpose of having global peace and not fighting wars, but to go over there and I guess the best way to look at it is safety by having a dominant workforce or a dominant war force or a dominant military. And when these people were not getting drafted, they were not being part of that goal to provide peace and strength through peace throughout the world here in the US. Well, lots of things have changed since then. There's not a lot of patriotism. I mean, there is, but it's kind of in little factions. But I was looking at that, and I was also looking at business, and there was something that happened in 1979 in business. There was an economist by the name of Milton Friedman, and he took out an ad in the New York Times, a full page ad in the New York Times, and he was talking about the purpose of business, defining why do people go into business? Why is business important? And there was no quote unquote rule book at the time. But Milton Friedman's op-ed, his full-page ad in the New York Times, really set the standard, and it went viral. And what he said was this: the purpose of business is to maximize profits within the rules or within the confines of the rules. To maximize profits within the confines of the rules. Now, it really doesn't speak anything about ethics, and that was the problem. Well, that post or that op-ed in 1979 literally went viral in the business community. And there was a CEO by the name of Jack Welch, and maybe you've heard of him. He was the CEO of General Electric. And so that op-ed came out in 1979. Well, there was a book written about Jack Welch in 2001, 22 years later. And the book, interestingly enough, was called Jack Welch, the CEO of General Electric at the time, and it was co-written by John Byrne. But the inside sleeve, and I want to share with you again. So remember now, this is in the context of the purpose of business is to maximize profits within the confines of the rules. And so on the inside sleeve, the book says this book is vintage Jack Welch. Again, keep in mind, the CEO of General Electric. Down to earth, powerful, and filled with common sense. As CEO of General Electric for the past 20 years. Okay, this book was written in 2001. That op-ed came out in 1979. Jack Welch kind of took that mantle of the purpose of business is to maximize profits within the confines of the rules. It says, as CEO of General Electric for the past 20 years, he has built its market cap by more than 450 billion and established himself as the most admired business leader in the world. So Jack Welch took that op-ed from Milton Friedman talking about the purpose of business is to maximize profits within the confines of the rules or the laws. What happened as a result of that? It became about profit. It became about market share. It became about stock price. And the entire thing switched. Prior to 1979 and that New York Times op-ed and Jack Welch becoming CEO of General Electric and changing the entire way business operates, and it still operates today in that capacity, maximizing profits within the confines, get this, of the rules. Well, profits changed the rules. Profits wrote the rules. Profits dictated how we worked business and how business worked. And as a result of that, we have, who's ever heard of the food pyramid? Put your hand raised emoji or put a number one in the chat if you've ever heard. Put a number one in the chat if you've ever heard of the food pyramid. Well, what is the food pyramid? For the longest time, it was the model of what we were supposed to eat. Well, who made the food pyramid? The United States Department of Agriculture wrote the food pyramid. Well, doesn't that seem like a conflict of interest? The people that are responsible for making the food are telling you what you should eat, and they're going to very, very highly influence what they're making. It has nothing to do with ethics. It has nothing to do with what is healthy, what makes a human being cellularly a better human being. It makes profit. Mm-hmm. And we have become, since if you look at the late 70s, early 90s to today, the last 45 years, the human race, the human race specifically led here from the United States has gotten sicker and sicker and sicker and sicker and sicker. And the companies that are making the food, the companies that are making the drugs, the companies that are running the healthcare system, they are making record profits at the demise of the human being. And who's ever heard of Mars Candy? Mm-hmm. Mars Company, the company that makes the number one selling candy bar on planet Earth, which happens to be Snickers, $457 million a year they make selling one candy bar. Well, think about this Mars Corporation that makes Snickers. The United Kingdom version of Snickers is made with butter and pure cane sugar and cacao powder. Butter, pure cane sugar, and cacao powder. Guess what the same company makes the ingredients here in the US? Partially hydrogenated palm oil and high fructose corn syrup and artificial chocolate flavoring. Same company, same candy bar. One is healthy, one is destructive. Well, we make more profits because the rules changed for profits. The people that are making the rules, think about this. Is there a conflict of interest when the board of directors of pharmaceutical companies also happen to be the heads of companies like Mars, and the heads of companies like Tyson Chicken, and the heads of companies of the people that make the food? They're on the board of directors of the AMA. They're on the board of directors of Pfizer, the people that make the drugs for the obese people that the food is causing to be obese. It's called conflict of interest, but guess what? They rewrote the rules, and the whole purpose of business is to make profits, to maximize profits within the context of the rules. And so change the rules. So we've heard recently in the last month, we had a tragic death, murder of an insurance company CEO, murdered. And we had a lot of people championing it, calling him a hero. We are now making heroes of people that are murderers. Now, why do we even have this scenario? Because the purpose of business is to maximize profits, not to make people better. Well, the guy, Jack Welch, who wrote that book called Jack, started this cycle, which started with Milton Friedman's op-ed in 1979 in the New York Times. Well, there was an author of another book that has changed it was completely different way, completely unconventional way of thinking to the modern time. And this book was written a little over 10 years ago, but it's called Start With Why by Simon Sinek. And Simon Sinek completely took that whole, and that's where I got those statistics and looked deeper into it, was from Simon Sinek. But he was talking about the rules have nothing to do with ethics. They have everything to do with profit. And if you're focusing on profit, you're missing the most important thing, ethics and what's best for the people. And so as a result of what I believe started with Simon Sinek, and this is just my own personal belief because I've read this book twice, there started this change. this pendulum swing back to common sense of let's take care of the people. Let's get the people healthy and let's get them to start eating good things. It's catch. I just read an article yesterday. I shared with Marcy. There is a national food chain that is switching from their canola oil to fry their fried foods to beef tallow, which is incredibly much more healthy. If you're going to fry food, you might as well fry it in a non-rancid oil or a stable source.
And it's okay for you to tell what company it is, because I would love to support those companies that are making good choices for our wellness.
If I remember,
you don't remember. Okay.
That's why I said a national chain. I was hoping it would recall, but I showed Marcy the article as I was reading it. Was it yesterday?
I think so.
Or the day before. But they're starting to shift. And there's a book I would like to recommend too called Good Energy. Brother and sister team of
The Steak Shack.
The Steak Shack, yes. No, Steak and Shake.
Steak and Shake. There you go. Steak and Shake.
Steak and Shake.
Thank you.
But Good Energy from Callie and Casey Means.
Good book.
So this is a medical doctor and a corporate lawyer and lobbyist that left their jobs because they got tired of the system that is rigged for profits at the demise of people. And that movement is catching on. Another very, very successful medical doctor, also Stanford grad, also extremely well-renowned, Peter Attia, wrote a book called Outlive. There's a book that's out called The Longevity Code. So we're talking about how to give the cells of the body what they need rather than poisoning them because they have so much symptoms and you're poisoning them with drugs. Mm-hmm. And so what has been driven the last 45 years in the food industry and the medical industry, which are literally hand in glove with interchangeable people on the head CEOs and board of directors, and it's a very big conflict of interest, but they are making profits by making profits on quieting your symptoms, mm-hmm. but doing nothing to improve your health. Mm-hmm. And it's getting sicker and sicker, younger and younger at the demise of people.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say it's because they're looking at the people as profit instead of as people.
Right.
Yeah. So they're not looking at people in the right way. Yeah, that was part of. Said. Yeah.
So here's the thing: the system of business has stopped seeing customers as human beings, and instead they look at customers as wallets. They're profit source. And if you look at, the insurance company CEO, and I am not glamorizing that, I'm not making a hero out of the unfortunate murder of that. We should never do that. But when CEOs of insurance companies are making between 30 and $50 million a year, it's because their incentive packages that they're given when they accept the CEO position is, if you make the stock price more valuable, we will pay you a significant salary. It's about stock price. Mm-hmm. That same company that this is the CEO of is denying needed care to patients all over the place because it's not profitable. It's profitable to keep claims low and keep profits high. That's the problem. It is lacking ethics. So why did I lay that foundation? And I added a couple more layers than I was expecting to, because I want you to realize that's the system out there. That is not the system here at LifeVantage. And at LifeVantage, it's all about people. It's all about enhancing the human experience. It's all about activation. It's all about getting to the root of the human potential and maximizing human potential, not maximizing profits. Well, how profitable would it be to maximize human potential at scale? I can't imagine anything more profitable, because it's a good cause to get behind. And people want to be part of a good cause. And there's never been a better time in the history of LifeVantage, or the history of the world for that matter, to step on or jump on the bandwagon of a cause that has been hurting people for a long, long time. And that is carrying excess body weight around, carrying or having a poor relationship with food, or not even having a relationship with food that is not chemically altered by some drug or some diet or some whatever that is miserable to go through. It's temporary misery for short-term gain, and then you go right back to the whole thing. It's a yo-yo cyclical cycle, and it's obviously not working and hasn't ever been working because it's the wrong approach. Well, what if we found the right approach? What if a company is one, they planted the flag and said, we are the activation company, and everything we do is increasing the genetic and human performance potential of the people who consume our products. There's no downside to that. But and here's the interesting thing. In our world, we are dealing with people that are symptom focused. And I'm on this drug or I've got this problem. Can your product help me? They're starting with the wrong question. If I'm taking this drug and I have this problem, can your product help me? Wrong question. I want to be as healthy as I possibly can be because I don't like taking this drug and I don't like having this condition. Can your product help me? I want to be as healthy as I possibly can. That's a much better question. And that's the question that LifeVantage is answering, but we're having to train people to ask those kinds of questions because the world is not promoting you or prompting you to ask those questions. But we here at LifeVantage are. So that's the context. Now I want to get into one last book I want to recommend because this all comes down to trust. I could say everything and I could beat my chest and say how great LifeVantage is and we have a wonderful approach and how honored I am to be on the scientific advisory board of LifeVantage because we're doing everything right. And I would say we're doing most things right. We ask great questions. That's where we start. How can we bless the world with our products and minimize human suffering, maximize human potential from a health perspective? But it all comes down to trust. Do people trust you when you are sharing our message? Do people trust LifeVantage? Do they trust us as leaders of LifeVantage? And there's a book, if you ever heard of the book, called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen R. Covey, one of the best books ever written on building rapport with people, becoming successful in business with people, but focusing on the 7 habits of highly effective people, their servants. Well, his son, Stephen M.R. Covey, wrote a book called The Speed of Trust. If people don't have trust, everything they talk about is on a shaky foundation. Everything is on a shaky foundation without trust. So I will tell you, not to trust me, but you can believe me if you want, but trust yourself in doing your own due diligence that if you are already a part of LifeVantage, if you've already got a consultant number, if you're already taking our products, you're already receiving the benefits, trust the process. Trust your results. Trust the fact that you are with like-minded people that want to change the world. And now I want to share with you, so this study, the new study that just came out
Are you going to go
on
through the slides or no?
yeah, go ahead. On MB Core and Protandim NRF2. And what it did, the study took 3 focuses. One, what is the benefits of Protandim NRF2 by itself? 2, what are the benefits of the MindBody GLP-1 system by itself? And then what are the benefits of the 2 products together? The healthy weight stack by activating more than one pathway, the NRF2 pathway and the GLP-1 pathway simultaneously. So in essence, it's the hashtag take it to make it approach. Well, it was very, very effective. So starting here, step 1, take Protandim NRF2 Synergizer, make antioxidants. So lower oxidative stress or just lower cellular stress. If you are lowering cellular stress by an average of 40% in 30 days, you are increasing the efficiency and the effectiveness of the cells by 40% in 30 days because 40% less stress means 40% more efficiency. That's the foundation. Then you add the MindBody GLP-1 system on top of that, in a system that's already experiencing increased efficiency because of decreased oxidative stress. So take the MindBody GLP-1 system, make the GLP-1 hormone again. And here is really the other evidence of a broken system. When we are focusing on hunger cravings, when we are focusing on ease and comfort and convenience and packaged meals that make it super simple, we sacrifice nutrition. Evidenced by what I told you that Mars does. They put partially hydrogenated palm oil and high fructose corn syrup, both are very toxic chemicals, in the candy bar that sells the most in the world. $457 million are made here in the US alone on that one candy bar. But the UK version of it has butter and actual sugar. People say, well, sugar's bad for you. High fructose corn syrup is 10 times worse for you. Candy bars in general, no one's ever classified them as health food. So don't worry about it. Take a bite of the one made of butter and pure cane sugar and be done with it. Oh, but wait, you can't get one because we don't make it out of that here. So these things are things that need to change. So when you are taking the whole approach of the GLP-1 hormone and you're turning it on again, in order to turn it on again, we have to ask ourselves, why is it turned off in the first place? I feel good. I eat 3 square meals a day. My pantry and my refrigerator are full of food. Well, did you know the United States, we are the most overfed, undernourished country in the world, and we are number 37 in health around the world? Costa Rica has a better health system than we do, and no one's ever heard of Costa Rica leading the health of anything. And I'm nothing disparaging about Costa Rica. They're a small little country, but they have a better healthcare system than we do. That's the problem because we are focusing on profits, not patients and not people. And so here, turning back on the GLP-1 hormone system again because it's broken, because we lost the entire relationship with food, because we're not waiting till we're hungry. We're waiting till we visually or emotionally stimulated eat, and then we do, and again, and again, and again, which is why 3 out of 4 Americans are overweight and 3 out of 10 Americans are obese. That's the problem. So that's the foundation we start with. But I want to kind of pivot right now. And I want to talk about the TriSynergizer because there are people, and we've done, Marcy and I've been actually, interestingly enough, having conversations recently with people that say, I've been trying the MindBody system and I'm actually gaining weight. I'm doing the MindBody system and my clothes are getting tighter, not looser. Well, maybe, just maybe, it's out of order. Maybe the healthy weight stack is out of order as far as your cellular communication is concerned. And one of the last slides I'm going to talk about is about that. But our Protandim TriSynergizer, the Protandim NRF2, the Protandim, which again decreases oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days. Protandim NRF1 Synergizer increases mitochondria or cellular energy. If you wake up tired, it's not because your caffeine dispenser is on empty because you don't have one. It's because your cellular energy is low. And if your cellular energy is low, not only are you going to wake up tired, you are going to find that your cells set out to start doing something, but they don't have the energy to complete it. And as a result, they simply don't. And when your energy, the cellular energy doesn't allow the cells to complete the job they started, we have accelerated aging. NRF1, Protandim, NRF1 Synergizer to the rescue. Mitochondria is one of the most important things you could ever have in your cells because it allows them to do what they were designed to do and they're already trying to do. Well, the other is Protandim NAD Synergizer. Maybe there is less stress in the cells. Maybe the cells do, in fact, have enough mitochondria to complete the job. They just aren't communicating with themselves very well and the other cells around them because of cellular gunk. That's what NAD plus gets rid of. It cleans up the cell's internal environment so they communicate better with themselves and every other cell. So you lower the stress of the cell, you give the cell more energy and allow your cells to communicate better. You just maximize the life expression of the human being on this product. Maybe this is step one. Get this in order and then bring the mind-body system into it because your body always, and I said that 3 times on purpose, your body always has a hierarchy of importance of needs. And a lot of times it's different than what you want. It's what it needs that you just don't know it needs. And so it's prioritizing something else rather than losing weight, like increasing your gut health. The MB Enhance is incredible about the ingredients in there to stop, to actually allow, and I'll talk about it later, allow the cells to get tighter junctions so there's less leaking, less likelihood of leaky gut syndrome. Better optimizing of getting food out of you, elimination system. And think about this. How many meals a day do you have? How many bowel movements a day do you have? If it's not the exact same number, something's wrong. Your gut needs to be rebuilt. Your microbiome needs a tune-up. If you have 3 meals a day and 3 bowel movements a day, that's called regular. If you have 3 meals a day and 1 bowel movement a day, that's called irregular. It's called inefficient evacuation of your elimination system. Something's wrong. Maybe you need NRF1 before you need MindBody Enhance. Maybe you need NAD Plus before you need MindBody Enhance. Maybe you need the TriSynergizer before you need the healthy weight stack. I don't know, but I know 80% of people will get the benefit that the product has to offer. and 20% may get a little more. 20 or so of the 20%, 10% may get a little more, 10% may get a little less, 10%, and it's the 80-20 rule of anything. Every one of our products has an 80-20 rule. And if we can figure out that the other 20, then we're going to be dialed in. But there's a hierarchy of importance, and the TriSynergizer is just one of them. So here's the benefits of when these three are taken together. 73% increase in gene responsible for fighting oxidative stress. That's NRF2. This is when they're taken together. 90% increase in the gene responsible for mitochondrial health. That's NRF1. 120% increase in the gene responsible for mitochondrial turnover. That's the RNA. In 128% in the NAD pathway. 128% increase in the NAD pathway is 128% increase in cellular communication efficiency. What if you could improve just your own human-to-human efficiency of communication by 128%? Would you have better friendships? Would you have a better marriage? Would you have a better relationship with your kids, your neighbors? Of course. You can't improve the effectiveness of 128% in anything without having a benefit in it. And then lastly, a 227% increase in the central enzyme for NAD synthesis. That is 227% more NAD being produced when the TriSynergizer is taken all three at once. That's huge. It's super, super important. Can I advance the slide?
Yep.
And so with Protandim TriSynergizer, it amplifies making antioxidants, making mitochondria, and making NAD, all of which your body needs. Now, these are the three, in my opinion, the three greatest longevity predicting products on planet Earth, period. And they're all patented individually, they're patented collectively, and they decrease cellular stress, increase cellular communication, and increase cellular energy. That's called the longevity formula right there. But let's talk more about the healthy glow stack too, because you guys have all kinds of connective tissue that holds all kinds of things together in your body and has all kinds of importance, because your brain, your skeletal system, your cardiovascular system, your tendons, your ligaments, your muscles, your cartilage, all made with collagen, including your digestive system. So maybe you need a little collagen in there to rebuild the tissue in there, rebuild the connective tissue to prompt the environment for the MB Enhanced to work. I'm just saying maybe. I'm talking now to that 20% that has noticed that for whatever reason, they're not having what the other people on the MindBody system and the MindBody NRF2, the healthy weight stack, are having. They're not having that. Well, maybe there's other priorities. That's why I'm mentioning this here. And then what happens when you take our healthy weight stack? Now we are to the climax of what I want to talk about. What happens when you take our healthy weight stack? Super, super important. So the healthy weight stack it amplifies oxidative stress protection with 4 new, I think the new should be highlighted here, 4 new antioxidant pathways. So we already knew about NRF2. Now there's 4 more pathways that have been enhanced with oxidative stress reduction because of the addition of the MindBody system to Protandim NRF2. That is huge, my friends, but it gets better. It gets better. Everything about LifeVantage's science is that it always gets better. Amplified metabolism with 9 new fat and fatty acid pathways. So we already had the MindBody system that was working to break down 27% of visceral fat reduction, 5% skeletal fat, or the superficial fat under the skin. Now there's 9 new pathways. So it's like you take one pathway that we know works and you add 9 more. That's the benefit of adding Protandim to the MindBody system. The previous one was adding the MindBody system to Protandim. And now this. See what happens? This is called synergy. This is actually synergy on steroids. But now I want to end with this new strategy here. This right here was the unexpected benefit. And it wasn't just little. It was, if scientists, and I don't know, I'm not a scientist, I don't hang around them, I like to read their work, but I would say when they found this right here, I'm sure there was a lot of OMGs happening in that laboratory. I think some scientists probably got their goggles and their masks and their microscopes they were looking at all steamed up because they got super freaking jazzed. Maybe even they might have lost bowel and bladder control. They were so excited about this because 22 new genes to restore, rebuild, and renew internal organs. When was the last time you've ever heard about anything restoring, rebuilding, and renewing internal organs? When does that ever happen except in utero? As the fetus is growing into a baby to be born, restoring, rebuilding, and renewing internal organs? This is insane. And not just one gene, 22 genes. Now, does anybody ever go on a diet? Say, I want to go to Jenny Craig, or I want to get on the keto diet because I want to restore, rebuild, and renew my internal organs. I've never heard of anybody getting on a diet for that. I've never heard of anybody wanting to lose weight for that. But ancillary benefit, unexpected benefit, and oh my gosh, earth-shattering benefit. So we're improving oxidative stress reduction by 4 additional pathways. We're increasing fat metabolism and benefit by 9 additional pathways, and now 22 new genes to restore, rebuild, and renew our internal organs. So now, pause, pivot, hold on, change the subject. So for the people that are saying, I'm on the MB system and I'm not losing weight, I'm on the MB system, I'm actually gaining weight, I'm on the MB system, my pants are fitting tighter, I don't know what's going on, I don't feel good. Maybe your cells are working such that your organs and those 22 new genes are activating, and you're restoring and you're rebuilding and you're renewing your internal organs, maybe for the first time in a long time, maybe for the first time ever, because of this specific unique addition to your daily regimen. Well, here's the thing. We are not a pharmaceutical company. We are not a symptom chasing company. We are not an alternative to Ozempic. We are not an alternative. We are not a natural alternative to semaglutide. And I've heard that so many times that it makes me furious every time I hear it. Can you tell them about this natural alternative to Ozempic? And I'm like, no. We are not a natural alternative to Ozempic. If anything, Ozempic is a synthetic version of the natural GLP-1 pathway, except it's so convoluted and it's so toxic. And people that are on it, yes, do they lose weight? Yes, but they also lose fat weight, or they lose fat weight, but they lose more muscle weight than anything else. And so that's the whole thing. When you focus on people as the purpose and you focus on making a difference as the purpose, you will by default make money. But when you focus on making money as the purpose, it doesn't matter ultimately, pardon my expression, who gets screwed in that pursuit, because it's going to happen. And when the rules change to allow that to happen, we know we're so far off base. Lobbyists and laws being made and rules being bent for things like that. And so just rest assured that LifeVantage has done it right. With the Healthy Weight Stack, the renovation crew of activating 22 new genes to restore, rebuild, and renew your internal organs, it's literally helping your tissue cells remain structurally strong. This is not including, I'm going to repeat this is not including the TrueScience liquid collagen. This is what happens when you have the ingredients, when you kick in the GLP-1 pathway while you're simultaneously reducing oxidative stress with 4 additional pathways. This is the end result. You tighten up the cell structure, like Julie Boycer was talking about, putting bricks and mortar together. Mortar between the bricks makes it bulletproof, makes it solid, makes it stable, makes it impervious. That's what this is. The second step helps tissue cells regenerate. That is incredible. Cells regenerate anyway, but when you can help them generate, maximizing the generation of specific, target-specific cells, of your gut-brain axis, of your microbiome, from the mouth all the way out to the other end. When you maximize those cells for this reason, it pays dividends like crazy. And here is this is the epitome. I'm going to close with this. The epitome of what's happening here, the unexpected side of naturally turning on or naturally increasing the GLP-1 hormone by 140% while simultaneously increasing oxidative stress reduction. It improves coordination, signaling, and impulses with tissue cells and nerves. Now I'm going to turn that in from semi-scientific speak into lay language. It maximizes, or it kind of gives your nervous system, your brain and body communication a tune-up, so that your brain is in better communication with your body and your body is in better communication with your brain. Think of it this way. If you are, and There's a thing that is getting epidemic proportions in our country, and it's getting down into the 50s and 40s as far as age category, and that is something called osteopenia or osteoporosis or lack of calcium density of your bones, making your bones more brittle. What if your body is sending a signal to your brain? Let's say it's so your body and brain do not communicate in English and they do not communicate in any perceivable language. They communicate in chemical messengers. But let's just say for this example, your bones are lacking calcium and they are screaming to your brain, we need calcium down here. Give us calcium. And you have hunger and you have cravings and you sit down and you eat a nice leafy green vegetable salad, which is loaded with calcium, but the body's bones are screaming at your brain that we need more calcium, but maybe the brain is kind of distracted. It's like it's got its AirPods in, it's kind of la la la, it's just kind of floating around, paying not much attention. It's having squirrel moments, and the signal every time it comes through, it's kind of staticky, and it's not a scream, it's a slight whisper that like we need calcium, kinda, maybe. If you're not doing anything else, can you maybe send some calcium down our way? And I'm being facetious, I'm kind of being comedic, but that's really what happens. And so if the body's needs and the brain's perception of those needs were unobstructed, in other words, the brain heard screaming, hey, we need calcium down here, the brain is going to make sure it's going to send signals to your intestines. Focus heavily on keeping that leafy green vegetables in there long enough to maximize all the absorption, suck all the calcium out of those leafy green vegetables as you possibly can. That's called efficiency of nutrition. It's called efficiency of absorption. It's called what happens when the GLP-1 hormone is released under normal circumstances. It's why and that's part of the thing about MB Enhanced, to keep the cells active longer by keeping the food in your intestines longer, so you have the benefits of receiving more of the nutritional quantity of what you're eating. And so it's not what you eat that matters, it's what you digest and absorb that matters. And so if you have a very, very efficient system and you are eating good quality nutritious food, it is the best case scenario. And when you do that with this healthy weight stack and your body's working optimally, your brain and your body communication as far as balance, coordination, cell signaling, your cells sending signals to the brain, your brain sending signals to the cells, everybody in proper communication, speaking the same language, the tone is met and received and interpreted effectively, the tissues and the nerves. One of the things about nerves, and there's a big, big, big problem, especially in the type 2 diabetic community, called neuropathy, which is a big problem with the nerves. So and we have now 3-year-olds coming down with type 2 diabetes and neuropathy. It's unheard of. That's the system that focuses on profits, not the system that focuses on getting people well. This system, this healthy weight stack in improving coordination, cell signaling, cell communication, balance of the tissue cells and nerve cells, this is crazy, crazy amazing. And why do you think our stock price is going up? Why do you think more and more people are talking about it? Because more and more people need the answers to what we have, but they're not getting it anywhere else. Because unfortunately, the system out there is still geared around maximizing profits under the context of the rules. And LifeVantage is changing the rules. LifeVantage is rewriting the rules. LifeVantage is focusing on people first, purpose second, and profits last. Now, all of us, the company needs to be profitable or none of us have paychecks. But the more people we have, the bigger purpose we can serve, the more money we're going to make. And that is called integrity. That is called the best possible way of making a difference, is helping people be on a passionate purpose. And yes, you're going to make money if you deliver. And we are delivering like none other company. We are the activation company. No one comes close. We're the only, still, we're the first, still, and we are increasing the efficacy of our products. We're increasing the benefits of our research, and we're increasing the data that we are collecting, proving not only do individual products work, they work better together. Hashtag better together. Hashtag take it to make it. And LifeVantage is leading the way. It's all about trust. It's all about making a difference. And the world needs it because the world is tired of being manipulated. The world is tired about feeling like a number. The world is tired from being ignored. It's all in your head. There's nothing we can do. You got to learn to live with it. I say BS on all of that because when activation is the focus and maximizing human performance and human potential is the outcome, and that is everything that we are doing here at LifeVantage is for that end result. Maximize human performance, maximize human potential, and maximize human impact and longevity. It doesn't get any better than that. And it's not just hearsay. It's not just conjecture. It is proven. And that is why I think this is so amazing. We are in the right company at the right time, and the science is bearing this out. And the research, when it talks about cell signaling and RNA checking and all the different types of genes, it's probably over most of your heads. It's over my head in full transparency. I'm a chiropractor. I'm not a researcher, but it takes me 4 or 5 times to read it to grasp the significance of it. But the press release, the 2-page press release, and I highlighted all the stuff here, is incredible. And I'm just going to close with this last thing that I read here. This is Lisa Barnes talking, our vice president of R&D and regulatory. She said, as we age, the health of our organs often dictates how well we feel and function, from maintaining energy levels to staying sharp and coordinated. The healthy weight stack is a true breakthrough. It works by strengthening the cellular bonds that hold our tissues together and restoring the communication networks between and within our organs. The approach empowers the body to age more gracefully and perform at its best. And my ad lib, and by the way, you're probably going to lose weight too. But I kind of look at it with all the other ancillary benefits. I don't know. Now, I lost 20 pounds, and the last pound I lost of the 20 was probably 8 weeks ago. I've kind of plateaued there. I'm perfectly okay with plateauing at 20 pounds lost. Now, I got a little bit extra, but my body is prioritizing its hierarchy of needs like everyone else's. So I'm not frustrated that I plateaued because I'm still taking the product every day. I feel freaking amazing. I'll be 60 in July, and I don't know anybody in my life that is 60 years old. And now that I'm back in practice and seeing between 40 and 50 patients a day on Mondays and Wednesdays, most of them are younger than me. There's a few that are older, but they're all in pain, and they're all in chronic pain. And they're all like, what are you doing? Well, one, I've been under chiropractic care since I was 24 years old, at least once a week, but I'm on some pretty freaking amazing products for the last 16 years. I've been activated with Protandim and NRF2 for the last 16 years. And it's incredible. And I've been on the TriSynergizer for the full system for about 7 years. And as every new product comes out, I try it. And if I like it, I stay on it. I did in fact try the Pet Tandem once, spit it out. I like bacon. For those of you know me, you know I love bacon. I just tried it just to say is anyone saying, have you tried all your products? I was lying because I had never tried Pet Tandem. Well, now I have. It wasn't really great. And again, that's a complete tangent. But the products that are benefiting, I am standing behind them because no other company comes close to the methods, the intentions, and the purpose behind what we do here at LifeVantage. So embrace this opportunity, embrace where the company is going, embrace the purpose behind it, and stand behind yourself. Have faith and trust in yourself, in your leaders, in the company, and the time, because there's no better time in human history for what we have right now to guarantee success, to guarantee it's going to help people, and guarantee it's fulfilling a purpose. People want better. People want better, and we empower them to have that. So I'm going to stop share. Marcy had to leave to go pick up our daughter from church, but I'm going to stop the share. And first of all, I want to thank all of you for committing to this, committing to yourselves, committing to your team, committing to the purpose, because you don't have to look around very far to see that the world is suffering and the world is confused right now. The world is looking for answers. They're looking for leaders. They're looking for the Peter Piper to lead them to the promised land. That was a bad example, but they're looking for leaders. I don't know why Peter Piper came up. There we go. Now I got the Run DMC song stuck in my head. So they're looking for leaders. They're looking for a purpose. They're looking for difference. And LifeVantage has it on all levels. You guys have it in spades. The leadership we have at this company is second to none. From the C-suite executives to Steve Fife, our CEO, to the corporate leadership, the field leadership, the leaders like all of you. So first of all, thank you all for seeing what we see. Thank you for showing up to serve the world in a time where they've never needed the answers that we have more than they do right now. And thank you for embracing this opportunity because you're all amazing. You all can make a difference and you're all part of something that's going to change the world. Let's go out in the next quarter of 2025. And by the way, there's almost 1,000 people that have signed up for the Activate and Thrive in 2025 challenge. Almost 1,000 people. So there's going to be 1,000 people with before and afters. So there's going to be 1,000 people on this journey that are starting it right now. Help people get involved in that. Let's scale those numbers. We've got 10 or 11 days left to put people into this because it's going to end in mid-April. But for 12 weeks, they're going to trust us. They're going to put their effort, they're going to put their money, they're going to put their hearts, and they're going to put their outcomes in our hands. Let's rise to the occasion and walk them through because there's so much progress we can make and so much momentum we can gain. Love each and every one of you. Thank you so much. We'll see you on Tuesday. Marcy and I are doing the meeting at 7 o'clock Tuesday night for the Activate and Thrive in 2012. Otherwise, we will see you next Sunday for the Sunday Spotlight. Have a great day, everybody. God bless.